Hey, look, here we are. It's time for show and tell. Welcome to yet another amazing hour-long edition of our Wednesday show and tell here at Adafruit West. I'm in. I am John Park. That is Lars back there. Please ignore him. Don't look at him. Don't look. And we've got a bunch of exciting stuff in store. People have all kinds of really cool projects that they're going to show and talk about. If you are interested in showing some stuff to other people, this is the place to do it. If you want to find out more, you can head over to the Adafruit Discord, which is at adafruit.it/Discord. You can get an invitation. Come on over, hop into the chat in the live stream channel. And right there, we have a link. And that link will tell you where to go to join up onto the live stream. So I'm being distracted by this chat because people are talking about beard trimming. Oh, is that what Lars is doing? I was wondering why he has those scissors. That could be a problem. All right, so let's see. I thought we would start out with our very good friend from Digi-Key, Kevin Walseth. So let's bring Kevin on and see what you got going on, Kevin. Hello.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
Good. It's good to see the west side of the country.
Yeah, here we are. How are things over there?
They're going well. You know, we're like I've said this before on the show, but we're very remote up where we live, so we're very fortunate. And right now, we're just starting to see some of these cases hit us, and it is what it is. You know, we're all just being careful, but life goes on, making goes on, right?
For sure. How's things going with the shipping and operations there at Digi-Key?
You know, we've been very fortunate. Things are going very well. Lately we've been getting everything out on time, and that's what we strive for. With our PDC management and our entire PDC team, they've reached out and had some of the business people come in and help, and it's one big community. Digi-Key is like an entire campus of just a close community that works well together. So it's been going very well.
I'm glad to hear it for you guys.
Things are moving forward. Our new building is looking phenomenal.
Oh, good.
It's they're starting to do some landscaping outside now, so it'll be fun to give you guys a tour of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll look forward to that. Do you have a drone you can fly us around with?
Yeah, just right inside. It's big enough. It's huge.
That's great.
I mean, I could easily get you guys drone footage next week to see the outside of it.
Yeah,
but maybe I'll do that.
Oh, that would be great.
Maybe I'll do that. So this week, I've kind of been working on a personal project. I'm actually a volunteer firefighter in this small town. And please, I haven't checked to see if this is legal to drive with. So everyone be cautious. Check with your own state and see what's legal. I'm working on it. But I'm making an emblem for the front of my pickup. Let's see if I can turn the lights down. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to use some different 3D filament to make it a little more clear and get the lights a little brighter. I'm trying to make it so it looks like it can flash. So as I'm responding to a call, I want to turn this on the front of my vehicle. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And then, if I'm with a group of people, I have it set up with the NRF 52, or what is it, the 52840 Bluefruit. And I have it set up with the app. So as soon as I, connect to the Adafruit app, I'm going to hit controller, color picker, and then I can change it to, whatever color I want, just to be kind of fun. So I'll finish this and I'll share it with everybody maybe next week or whenever I get it done. I'm going to install it in my vehicle with different buttons for different colors, and I can turn it on to, whatever I want with my phone elsewhere.
That's really cool. Are you thinking about tying it into electrical in the truck's 12-volt system?
Yes, I'm definitely going to tie it into the 12-volt system. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet.
Right.
I'm still haven't gotten to that point. This is just kind of a proof of concept.
Like I was looking at one point at doing something in my Jeep, and I had found a company that sold a little Raspberry Pi power supply board that could do like proper shutdowns and startups and tie into 12 volt in a vehicle based on turning it on and off, which is overkill for what you're doing because I think you've got a microcontroller there, but it may be inexpensive enough to look into as a starter.
It does have a built-in USB jack, like right into the front of the vehicle or right into the dash. So I might be able to tie into that somehow too.
Nice.
I haven't gone that far, but
great.
We'll figure it out. That's what we do, right? We just figure it out.
You're in your personal vehicle and you're gonna hit the light on that as you head to the fire department. Is the idea? Cool.
Yeah. So they do allow us to like turn our flashers on, and I've been researching different laws in different states.
Okay.
From what I've read, in Minnesota, you can have they have dimensions on a flashing light, but.
Oh, right. Okay. Very cool. I feel like I've always heard you just can't have blue. If you're not a cop, you can't.
You definitely cannot have blue. It's either yellow or orange, or I mean red or orange.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Great project.
If not, I just won't use it while I'm driving, and it'll still be cool.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to seeing the progress on that. And thanks for bringing that by. And we'll hold you to your word. We want to see drone footage of the new building next time.
That sounds good. I'll do it. Always an excuse to bring out the drone.
Oh, that's super. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Kevin. And we'll talk to you next time then.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Very cool. Neat project. Let's see. Next up, we've got, I think Melissa, our very own Adafruit Melissa, had a project to show. Let's bring Melissa on. Hey, how you doing?
Hi. So I'm gonna start out by showing this, which is a little demo that's running on Display IO on the PyPortal here. And I have been working on porting it over to the Raspberry Pi. So I got the very same demo here. And you can see the font is a little different on this compared to the PyPortal. But it is essentially running this just fine. Now let me go ahead and run another demo. And let me do this. So I have this display shapes one also running on the PyPortal, and it is running on the Raspberry Pi as well here. And let's see, there we go. There you can see it. John, I don't know if you're talking because I can't hear you at all.
I'm not, but I have my screen down. But that is really cool.
Okay.
So you're basically bringing the same display I/O code that we use in CircuitPython over to link inside the Raspberry Pi, so we can, which is cool because we have a familiar language there that we know how to create something on both the single board computer and on a microcontroller now, right?
Exactly. And the only thing I had to really modify was the pin numbers.
That's great. Very cool. Very exciting. And what state is that in? Are you bringing that to a GitHub near us soon, or
it is actually already on GitHub, and it has a good chunk of it done. I created a number of issues for any remaining features that aren't already done, and anybody can contribute to it if they want.
That's excellent. And so you said the fonts were different. I know right now we can use like a terminal IO or the terminal font just by default on microcontrollers, and then we can make BDF fonts, which are sort of rastered to one size. Is there an equivalent to making sort of fancy fonts on the Raspberry Pi side of things?
I haven't tested the BDF fonts on here. They may or may not work, but I'd like to eventually add like some kind of a true type font, and I don't think that'll be that difficult.
Excellent.
Just need to kind of gauge whether to do something that might not be backward compatible with CircuitPython or not.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, great work, and thank you for working on that, because like I said, it's exciting to know that I might be able to do some good-looking graphics over on the Raspberry Pi without having to learn a whole separate way of doing it if it is portable from the display I/O stuff. So,
cool. A comment I saw in Discord about the speed. It definitely is not optimized yet, so it doesn't have dirty rectangle tracking, which is one of the issues. So there's a lot further it can go than it's at now.
Yeah, good. Well, it's a great start to it. Appreciate you bringing it on, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Next up, we have a very special segment called Bryan.Saleae Plug-in with Bryan.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
You caught me in the middle of setting it up, but I think it should be working. Oh no, what did I do? Can you come back to me just a minute?
We'll be back with your segment
Thank you.
soon. All right. How about Scott? Scott, you're ready? Let's bring Scott on. We'll see if Scott's ready. Hey, Scott.
We'll see.
Surprise! It's show and tell.
I'm also trying to get something working, but I'll show it if regardless. So,
All right.
if you pull up my screen, this is my terminal, and this is the debug output from CircuitPython on the ESP32S2, and I've been working on getting bus I/O support in, specifically I2C scanning. So I've been messing with it. There's some issues, but I'm gonna turn on my data lines, and I'll pull up screen here, and we'll see what we can do. So first thing I'm trying to do is scan. I have an SHT31D connected, so we should see address 44 pop up. And then I was trying to use the library after that, but that's having some file system issues. So we'll likely crash after the scan finishes. So I'm just going to hit Control-D to restart, and we find 44, and then we get a random exception because the file that it's loading is not valid. So making progress on bus I/O. I'm going to have to figure out these file system issues. I've seen it actually happen where like I double click a file on CircuitPy and I get like garbage rather than the file. So looking at that, it's it's super early, so it's not surprising, but hopefully by Friday we'll have full I2C and tackle SPI and UART as well.
Excellent.
If people want to know about SPI, UART, and I2C and the differences and the advantages and disadvantages of each, I went in pretty into depth in my video last week. It's about 30 minutes in.
On the Adafruit YouTube, they can see the live stream archive of your show. Great.
Yep. And then I'll be streaming again on Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Super. Good. Well, thank you for your continued progress with this. ESP32S2 is on the way.
Yeah, and thanks to Ivan for helping me with some other issues I was having. So he's been super helpful.
Good. All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, John.
All right. I wonder if Brian is ready. I see a little thumbnail of him down there, and he is not waving me off or anything. I got the thumbs up, so here we go. Oops. Liz jumped in. The cubes. So sorry. Scott disappeared, and all of a sudden Liz's cube jumped in. Liz, you're muted. Let's see. There you go. That you're going.
Do you want me to go now? Okay. All right.
It was meant to be somehow. It's
okay.
chaos.
But quickly share my screen. I'm into it. I love chaos. So the xylophone Bluetooth MIDI project went live today. Learn guide and everything. So I have a little demo where it's going to play along with a synth in Reason. And it's actually, the music it's going to play is actually a duet I wrote in college for 2 xylophones. So I thought it'd be appropriate. So I'm going to play it now.
Got some history.
Yes.
Great.
So there we go.
Incredible. That is really great. Bravo. Yeah. So
Thanks.
So your guide is out now, and
Yes.
this is remind us, is this using Bluetooth MIDI to control the solenoids?
Yes, exactly. It's you're basically doing MIDI out from your DAW or your MIDI keyboard, and then it's taking MIDI in on an itsy bitsy NRF 52840, and then that's communicating over I2C to some muxes that are talking to some drivers to get the solenoids to play.
Awesome. And the bear of this is the details of actually putting it together. Like, not only is it a great concept and you got to figure out how you're doing it, but there's just so much wiring and mounting and things that go on. It's really an impressive project. Well done.
Thank you. And big shout out to Noe. He did the mount design for the 2020 extrusions. So that's how the solenoids are sitting on there. Yeah.
And what sort of power supply are you using for this? Like a 10 amp, 5 volt?
So I'm doing a 5 volt 2.5 amp, which is basically like Raspberry Pi. Yeah. The solenoids are only actually on for 0.01 seconds because the way the code's written is it triggers and instantly retracts, and that's note by note. So you're never pulling more than 2 amps because these are 1 amp solenoids. So.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Really cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. And if people want, they can go to the Learn guides, learn.adafruit.com, and check out the guide and maybe build their own version or be inspired to build something based on this idea.
Yes, I think with the Bluetooth MIDI, like I think a lot of people could build like different instruments or just different ways of controlling MIDI wirelessly that could really open stuff up. So hopefully people build on that.
Great. Good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz. And thanks for jumping in accidentally and being a trooper. No warning. All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
Go.
All right. I'm going to attempt to bring on Bryan after all the little boxes go away. Here we go. Are we ready? Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Success. Alrighty. So one of the things I do here at Adafruits, or I don't know, I guess I'm not here, whatever, is work on drivers for Arduino and CircuitPython. And sometimes things just don't work, and you have to look at the traffic that's going back and forth. I had previously shown a little script that I wrote to take the I2C traffic from a transaction between a sensor and the microcontroller and print out some information about what registers were being accessed. So fast forward a bit, I ended up seeing that Saleae, they're working on a new version of the software for their logic analyzers. I think it's still officially in alpha. But one of the many cool things they did is they added the ability to write plugins, high-level plugins that consume the data coming out of the I2C analyzer and do things with it. So this is, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so hopefully people can see. This is the type of data that you're normally going to be getting out of the analyzers. It's a little bit different from how it used to be. We also have this table view, which is here. Well, you'll see, okay, there's a start. I just see a start, and then an address, some data, more data, and a stop. I can tell what this is doing because I've been staring at it for too long, but most people probably can't if you don't have any experience doing so. So what I did was I wrote, I'm going to hop over to my IDE here real quick. So I wrote this little plugin that will take a frame of I2C data, and there's several types. There's a start frame, address frame, data frame. And it's will keep track of the transactions going on back and forth. So normally when you're working with I2C, if you're using the typical kind where you're talking, writing to and reading from registers by an address, you'll have a write that will write the address of the thing that you want to read. And then there will be another read that comes after that that reads the data back. Otherwise, you'll have a write with the address followed by more writes with the data being written. And keeping track of the connection between that initial write that defines the register and the rest of the traffic is, you have to be able to do that to be able to tell what's being written to and read from. So anyways, that's what this code does. It's all in Python. For being as early as it is, it's really well documented on their GitHub page. So the end result of this is, if I go back to Logic here, by the way, this is the new version of their UI. It's really pretty nice. It's I believe it's based on some Webby technology of some sort. I forget which. But anyways, so here, if I go to the other capture, I have, here we are. Okay, so the way you do it is you write a thing called an extension. An extension is just, a plugin for the app. There's going to be different types. Right now, there are high-level analyzers that take the output of a low-level analyzer that's written in C, and then allows you to analyze it in Python. There's also Python measurement analyzers, I guess. So what you do is you write an extension, and my extension is called register transactions. and it includes an analyzer. So if I hop over to the analyzers, now you can see I've got this I2C register transaction plugin here. Let's just jump to it. So normally you're looking at your traffic here. This is the hard part. Let's do it like, see if I can jump here. All right, so this is your I2C traffic. Let me get this smaller. That didn't work. Oh well. So here you can see this is what you normally get. Here's a write to an address, or write to an I2C address, and then a which register address, and then the data coming back. So it's reading back 41. I'm able to decode this into a read to the power management 1 register, and the data is 41. So right now, it's just getting the name of the register and the data that's going back and forth. But now that I have code that can do that, that can figure out the destination and the data, I can plug in the prior code that I wrote that does more interesting, higher level stuff like keeping track of which bits are being written to and read from and whatnot. So more to come later.
That's exciting. Thank you so much for sharing that. And is that something that you're using right now just for your own work? Will you be sharing that out with other people who are using the Saleae logic analyzer? Yes,
I am. I believe I made it public on my GitHub thing. So I think it's just called, I don't know, I'll post a link in the Discord. But yeah, anyone can use it. You'll have to get access to the alpha of the new version, but I think it's totally open, so anyone can do it.
Great, good. Well, thank you for coming on and showing that. We appreciate it.
Catch you later.
All right, next up we've got Collin. Collin, prepare yourself mentally because you are on Show and Tell. Hello?
Can you come back and like give me another 10 minutes then? That preparation is going to take time. You know what, I'm just going to go with it as is. Yeah, so I've been working on an app for Adafruit folks to use to help track locations and not contact tracing, but in that nature of that thing. And, the spirit of the moment is the things we all have to be concerned about nowadays. And you can see it running there and all glossy on my screen, really, blurring everything. But I'm going to show you on a much clearer, more consistent view from the simulator, if you don't mind. Give me 1 second. Can you see that? Yeah, good. So here we have the path. This is the movement that's been recorded by the app running in the background. And we have some options. We can go in and we can edit our user info, all this good stuff. We can turn our reminders that reminds us to log our temperature daily at a certain time. And we have a reminder we could set for sending a report weekly that will include that whole path and everything. Then we have some fun debug values. You can nerd out on core location stuff and test out different approaches to recording locations. And if you want more details, you can go down here to your location log. You can see all the locations that have been recorded. Tap on one to see actually where it was and see the pin, and then some of the nuts and bolts about the the stats associated with that location. You can also go into your temperature history, and you can, I just have a few test values in here right now, but you can view your temperature changes over time, which is kind of fun. And just implementing this and converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and of course you can go in here and log your temperature for the day. Yeah, so
is the a question, is the location data something that you're actively checking in and saying I'm gonna stamp down this location as a place I've been, or is it extracted from a certain interval of just where you are?
I think I know what you mean. I mean, it's basically I subscribe to, in the API, you subscribe to changes that the iPhone detects. And you say, like, look, I don't want to use too much battery, so just tell me every, 100 meters or something. You try to give them, if you ask for a more precise threshold, then it will use more battery power. So you pick a place, and then you say, okay, I'm going to run in the background, you let me know. And then it just checks in once in a while the app is running in the background and sends you, and then you respond to it. Yeah, it's pretty great. Core Location's got a lot better over the years. That's Apple's API.
And currently, for using it to, let's say, compare notes with someone to say, hey, were we in contact with each other? Can you send them a log of the data? It's all kept local to your phone currently, right?
Yeah. This is not shared automatically or anything like that. Strangely enough, the end point I can't actually demo for you. I click this button right here. It's the mail button. But what that does is it opens the mail interface, which isn't available in the simulator right now. But and then it includes a text log, all human readable text, and an image of your path, and it has our default address that employees can send it to. But you could set that to anybody. And I was thinking about adding an option just to straight up save the file locally, wherever you like. So we've got a lot more things to come, and hopefully it's helpful.
Do we know, is this something that will be available to anyone to use, or will it just be shared among Adafruit employees for the foreseeable future?
Right now we're planning on just for Adafruit employees, but I'm not actually sure. We'll let you know. We would be cool to share it, and if it's helpful for other people, I'd love that.
A nuts and bolts question I have about that, is that done with test flight? Is that the mechanism you can use to have an app that's not in the App Store, but a small group of people
to distribute for internal stuff? Yeah. You can use test flight. If you're gonna do sort of like a full release, you could do like enterprise custom app release. The wording gets sort of bland and ambiguous, but yeah, that's for more official internal stuff. Right now we're trying it out in test flight, and we're seeing how it goes. And we'll sort of decide the best path. But yeah, you can do external testers with test flight now. There's been a lot of changes and made it much more accessible in recent times.
Right. Well, maybe I'll download it at some point, and I'll be incredibly unlikely to intersect anyone from New York Adafruit since I'm out here in California, but might be fun to try.
Please do. I will add you to the VIP debug list, and you can have access to all those little options in there.
Very cool. Great work.
Thanks, JP.
And thanks to everyone on the iOS app development team there at Adafruit who's been working on this. It's really impressive.
Thanks to Trevor and Antonio, everybody.
It is. Okay. Yeah, the gang. Excellent. Very cool. Well, thanks for coming on and showing that, Collin.
Yes, everybody worked on it.
All right. Let's see. Next up, let's bring on Noe and Pedro.
Boop, boop. Hey, what's up, John?
How's things?
We're doing it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week, I really wanted to put together something that I wanted to put together a little bit ago. So I've been using Phil B's little mini fume extractor for solder smoke for ever since he made it. So one of the things I wanted a bigger battery. So we got the bigger battery, and I put together like a little enclosure. And Lamar was like, you know what? You should make it more simple so it only has googly eyes. Just kidding. It has the USB cable, so I can just plug it in directly to any of these lipstick batteries. Little 5-volt USB battery. So I plug it in, and it's now sucking all the smoke that I don't have here. So one of the other things that I wanted to do as a feature is to just be able to quickly, let me turn this off, to quickly take out to swap out the carbon filter. So it has a little snap fit here. So that opens up, and we have access to the fan. It's got a little fan guard so that it doesn't touch the blades. And these little filters, we started stocking them like maybe 2 years ago. So they're not too new, not too old, right? So you just cut this down to size. This is a 50 millimeter fan. So, it's sized for that. So you just cut it with an X-Acto knife.
The frog feet are so adorable. I can't stand it.
Little frog feet. It's funny. Phil B saw it on Basecamp. He was like, I'm going to print one, and I will name it Jar Jar Stinks. So that's a great name. Another thing I want is I really like tripod screw adapters, and this GoPro. GoPro has like really nice style hinges. So I figured why not just copy that and use that so that it can be adaptable. He's kind of like dancing around there. Like, haha. So hopefully this, I don't know, inspires folks to like add googly eyes to their things or make it more enjoyable, like this guy here.
Yeah,
So,
it really is begging to have a little stop motion animation leaping around too.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's what we have this week. The files are all up there. It's all 3D printed in PLA without any support stuffs.
I got a question. Is the fan 5 volt to begin with, and you've changed the plug, or did you add a converter for voltage?
Good question. Yeah, so these fans are 5 volt rated, so they'll just power off anything that has 5 volts. And then I just soldered it to one of our silicone ribbon cables because I like them. They're really
nice.
And then Adafruit stocks these little DIY USB plugs. They're really nice because you have access to the where's the camera? Yeah, I have access to the little thing there. And they come with like, these little strain reliefs, so when you're pulling on it, it doesn't rip the solder joint, which is really nice. And I noticed that looking on Amazon and there's so many of these on Digi-Key too. There's actually some that are 5 volt that already have USB.
Oh, really?
Which is I didn't know that, which is good. So I have those all linked too in the Learn Guide, so folks want to check that out.
That's excellent. Learn Guide is out now. People can go and get the files.
It's all ready.
Excellent. Good. Well, have you named yours yet?
I need to. I can't. It's hard to beat Jar Jar Stinks, So we're gonna call him Jar Jar Stinks.
Son of.
Yeah. Son of Jar Jar.
Hey, and while I've got you here, what is going on with the SNES cartridge back there? That looks...
Yeah, that's a great point. That was this week's Time-Lapse Tuesday. This is by Thingiverse user Flying Purple Cow. So it looks like an NES cart. I don't know if it's like perfect dimensions. Maybe it is. But what's cool about it is that it has this little extra piece. You actually pop that in. Whoa. And out comes the tray. And this snap fits these carts, these SD cards.
That's excellent.
There's some in the back there too. You do need a little bit of support material, but hey, just printed with supports. And I'm really digging this marble filament. It's PLA. Beautiful. It doesn't have real marble in it. It's just these like speckles. That's not going to focus, but it has this marble kind of finished look to it. And that's some filament that folks can get on Amazon. And just search for marble PLA. Maybe there is marble PLA, like with actual marble in it.
I think it was a mistake, and they're like, let's just call it marble.
Yeah, that's what the community has dubbed it. So yeah, check this one out. We have a little YouTube time lapse on the channel.
Nice. Oh, good. Well, thanks for the bonus show and tell because I missed 2 shows. So I didn't see that.
It's all good. Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. And we will see you next time. And now let's bring on Tim, who has been waiting patiently. Thank you so much, Tim. Hello.
Everybody. So I thought I would show off a little bit of vintage electronics. So we have here a HP35 calculator from circa 1972. It's actually an early one because it doesn't say 35 on it, because it was the only model at the time it was released. So the full function scientific calculator back when many of these things would have been the size of a typewriter or something like that. And what's really amazing about it is that they accomplished all the scientific functions with only 768 instructions. So there's a website out there that actually showed someone cut open one of the dead ROM chips, and you actually can see the transistors with light microscopy. Yeah, so they did a lot with a little, and basically the only maintenance one of these things needs is a new nickel cadmium or nickel metal hydride battery pack. That's about it, and these things will keep cranking for a long time. And made it through show and tell without dropping something on the floor, so great.
Nicely done. What a beautiful calculator and great display. Are those the very tiny little LCDs or LED wire kind of ones?
Are right. So they're the little tiny, if it's going to focus, I don't know if it will, but the little tiny LED displays made up of individual LEDs, almost like little pixels. I think people like to scavenge these because it's like some of the greeblies on Star Wars lightsabers. So some of the cheaper 4-function calculators get taken apart for those.
Very cool. That's a great retro show and tell. Thanks for bringing that on, Tim. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks. Thanks for letting me share it.
You bet. All right. We'll see you next time. All right, now we've got Chris D, who has been also hanging out and waiting patiently. I'll give you a little warning and prepare to. Hey, Chris, there you are. You are on Show and Tell. What you got?
Yeah, so I was on the show last week, and I showed these coins. And I need to correct the record on this. I did not make the coins. I watched Lady Ada's recap, and I think they got the impression that I designed or somehow made the coins. I had nothing to do with the design or production or manufacture of the coins. I just had this idea to use the coin as a wire, and kind of a switch thing. And so this is the greedy gargoyle that wants a coin. I'll show him in a minute. So now his colors are kind of red and yellow because he's angry he doesn't have the coin. We'll give him the coin in just a minute. But I thought I would just explain like where I found the coins and how I got them in case anyone is interested in that.
Great.
But the copper coins, they have a Mayan calendar design, and they came from this place called AP Mex. And AP Mex, I'm just an ordinary customer. I have no special relationship with them, but they sell gold coins, they sell silver coins, but I found out you could get these copper coins, and this is what a pack of 20 looks like. If you get one, it's a little more than $3, like $3.10. If you get a 20 pack, the price comes down to about $2.80, so it's a little less than $60 for a 20 pack of these chunky copper coins. Silver coins, I found out about the existence of these, and I have two of them here so I can, if the focus gods are on my side, I can try to show both sides. But I found out about these there's a Reddit group called Silverbugs, and the Reddit Silverbugs are enthusiastic about the metal silver. In April, they started, this started popping up, pictures of it. If I can get really close, it does say April 2020. Of course, it won't focus for me now. But on the Reddit group, people were showing these off, and someone said, oh, you can get it on eBay. And so I looked, and they had them on eBay. I looked again today, and it looked like the same place is called Bullion Express on eBay. And it was about $27 for one of these. And the spot price of silver is $17 an ounce. This is 1 ounce of silver, so you're paying like $10 more than the raw price of silver. I'll show one more thing, is that when I got them, it almost was like getting an Adafruit thing. They came in bubble wrap, and they're silver round. Technically, these are rounds, not coins. Like a coin enthusiast would tell you that here's another one. This is called an American Eagle, and they're made by the United States Mint. And a coin made by a country's mint, a national mint, that's called a coin to serious coin people. And something that is kind of made by a private mint is called a round. But I just
good insider info. Now we have some jargon to use. I like that.
Jargon, yeah. And so I'll go back to the gargoyle. I'll show you one more thing. So this real coin from the U.S. Mint is called a silver eagle, and I found out that it's slightly wider in diameter, and it doesn't quite fit in the gargoyle. Which again is using the parts from the Hallowing lens holder. So this is very easy to find this American Eagle coin because they make lots of them, but it doesn't quite fit. But if I show the COVID coin, we'll give him the coin. Hopefully this works. And his colors change. And this is all Circuit Python, implemented in Circuit Python. If I show the back, you can see the Bluefruit, and there's a bunch of wiring. So the Bluefruit and the coin holder are wired into the Hallowing and back. And if we take the coin away again, now he's mad. So we'll give it back to him again.
Very cool.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to show. And yeah, I did not make the coins, but you can find them on either this AP Mex place or the silver coin on eBay.
Good. Thank you for now. The record is straight on that, so I appreciate the follow up on it, and really great project. Very cool. And now I'm going to be off looking for copper rounds because that's fascinating.
Thank you.
I thought they'd been that cheap. Thank you so much, Chris, and maybe we'll see you again next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we have Danon, who has also been waiting patiently, and I see he's got a screen to share. Hello. Let's see. I'm not.
How you doing,
there
JP?
we go. You're a little choppy. Let's see if we can hear you.
Is it working? Am I working?
It sounds like you're working.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. It's just a little laggy.
I am working? All right, cool. This thing's been going through meltdown trying to get it to work, to stay on system. So we'll see how well this goes. But I got a nice little idea of, I like my robots. And I'm also a big Doctor Who fan. So I figured, why not combine the two? For anybody who is familiar with Doctor Who, one of the bad guys is a Dalek. So I figure, why not marry my two little joys? I've got a what do you call it, a Sphero rover that I'm going to use as the base for a Dalek that will grow in abilities. This is going to be a long project.
It's good that you know that going in.
You could switch over to my other screen. Are you there?
We've got your screen up. Your video is frozen a little. There we go.
JP? Hey, there we go. All right.
It looks like roughly a Dalek skirt-shaped creation is going on here. Why don't I try to come back to you?
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you're cutting out. So I'm gonna bring you back in a little bit and just see if the internet is being friendlier to you. So in the meantime, we have Orlando who is ready to go. Hey, Orlando.
Hello there.
Nice to see you. What do you have for show and tell?
So this week, let me get my screen share set up. I'm teaching a workshop, and I mentioned this a couple of times. I'm teaching a couple of workshops. Is my screen currently being shared? Okay,
There we are. Yeah.
So teaching a couple of workshops on instrumentation. First one's Introduction to Electronics, where I'm teaching printed circuit board designing in Eagle. The next one is Biomedical Instrumentation, where I'm teaching people how to make heart rate monitors and the like. And the third one is designing a smartwatch, where people, design a smartwatch with various sets of features. One of the features people wanted was sort of an MP3 and audio streaming as well. And so I had to do a lot of digging. And I ran into this. Yeah, I first needed to figure out that you can't do audio streaming through BLE because that's through, smaller rate protocol, smaller rate data transmission, like little sensors and things like that. So I stumbled on this like RN52 Bluetooth microcontroller that sort of handles all the audio streaming for you. There's a nice little breakout on SparkFun. And so I started tinkering with it a little bit. And so I have an aux cable in my car. It's not Bluetooth enabled. And I have an iPhone 7, so it has a lightning connector. So I always had to end up dealing with those stupid adapters that break often. So it's actually kind of nice just to trick it out with Bluetooth. And when you do it with this little RN52 module, it's actually very, very easy to set up. It does all the stuff for you. All you need to do is just power it up and give it a couple serial commands and you're good to go. So I decided to make a little audio adapter breakout for it that I can stick it in my car and also just to try it out. And I'm also thinking about doing a Bluetooth headphones project as well. My little sister has a
great. Yeah, this comes up a lot. People really want to do wireless Bluetooth audio, and I've never seen a easy DIY approach to it. It's often people say go buy a thing off of Alibaba and hack it apart, but I haven't seen this SparkFun adapter before.
Oh yeah, it is super easy. I mean, it is one of those things where you hook it up, press go. I am very happy. And so I did a little breakout board for it. I'm going to stick it in my car so I can make it Bluetooth enabled. So basically the general gist of the breakout is a power supply, so it regulates the USB voltage. So I'll power it through the 12-volt connector in my car. And then it has a 3.5 millimeter jack to connect the aux cable from the Bluetooth module itself to the car, and then the phone will communicate to the Bluetooth module over Bluetooth. So I sent the design files to Oshpark, and I'm kind of waiting for it to come back. And as you can see, it's just a handful of components, so it should be kind of a cinch to solder as well. The Bluetooth module is castellated, which means that the vias, it's going to be fairly easy to solder to these vias, except for these ground connections that are right here. Those are surface mounted and they're recessed, so they're hard to get to. So I had to do a little bit of hacking there to get that going. So I'm pretty excited to try this thing out when it gets here. I've had a breadboard version of it that I've been playing around with, and that one's been working great. So it'd be kind of nice to make it a little more packaged and finished.
Oh, that's great. Very cool. Yeah, we're excited to see that as you work on it. Maybe you can come on and show us the breadboard version of it sometime too. That would be fun to see the evolution of it as you go.
It's right across the desk table for me. You got a minute for me to go grab it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah. Meanwhile, we'll bring Collin back on just to see what Collin's doing. Hi, Collin. Bye, Collin.
Let me stop sharing real quickly. And if you're seeing my face, it's just right here. So this is the breakout from SparkFun. I added a button to do some volume control. There are a couple of GPIO pins that you can just essentially connect the buttons to actuate control volume, play, pause, forward, reverse, those types of things. I have a little breadboard power supply that I made a couple of years ago, just regulating the LiPo voltage down to 3.3. And then there's this little, 3.5 millimeter jack connector that I'll connect to an aux cable.
Love it.
It's pretty straightforward. Not too bad. I'm making an instructable of some sort, maybe put on a Hackaday or instructable for it soon. And then I'll also do the same thing for the PCB version.
That's excellent. Yeah, it's exciting too to see the all of that shrunk down to something nice and usable once you get the PCB back. That's great. Cool. Thank you so much, Orlando. Very cool project, and looking forward to seeing that board when you get it in.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay, I think that wraps it up for us. Unfortunately, Danon wasn't able to get his connection back together. So to start a new tradition, we will just leave you with a few moments of Collin making facial expressions at the camera.